Hi and welcome to Dressmakers Closet. My name is Jane. Now in today's video it's all about knickers, pants, undies, whatever you want to call them, and I've been making some, so stay tuned. So hi, welcome back, and before I show you the pants or knickers that I've made, what am I wearing today? I am wearing the Maven Patterns Somerset t-shirt, one of my favourite patterns, as you probably know if you follow me, and this is in a printed velvet fabric that was from Wow Fabrics. So that's what I'm wearing today. So I've been making some pants. I had loads of remnants, offcuts of jersey or stretch fabrics that were just hanging around in my scrap box, which was never going to get used really. So I was keeping them really for maybe some contrasting cuffs or some contrasting neck or sleeve bands for future t-shirts or vests. But then I just thought surely there's something better I can do with them, because quite a lot of the scraps I had were at least over 1/4 of a metre. Some of them were nearly almost virgin and 1/2 a metre left over, because the thing is when you buy fabrics, online especially, that they don't very often sell them in 1/4 metres, which I wish they would, because obviously you get a lot less waste and you only need to buy, especially for t-shirts and vests, you would probably get away with 3/4 of a metre or a metre or 1.25 metres. But invariably I have to order obviously a metre, or normally a metre, I always order 1.5 meters just to be on the safe side, and really you don't really need 1.5 meters. So I've always had like these leftover scraps, and I just thought surely there's a better way I can use the scraps up, and I just thought why not have a go at making knickers. Now to be honest, I wouldn't go and buy fabric purposely to make knickers, because like I've said before in previous vlogs, you can get a perfectly good pack of 10 from Primark for about £5, and you can get a perfectly decent pack of 5, I think it is 5 or 6 from Tesco for about £8. So I wouldn't purposely go out and think, oh, I'm going to spend £12 on a metre of fabric to make knickers. But it's absolutely brilliant for using up your scraps. So I managed to find 5 patterns that were free that you could download on the internet, and I just thought I'd share them with you. Now the first one I'll show you, you've probably all heard of, is the Acacia pant by Megan Nielsen. And I'll just show you, you have to, I think, sign up for her newsletter to be able to download this pattern. This is a low-rise bikini style, and there it is there. And I'll show you the paper piece as well, just to give you an idea of the size, of the overall sizing of them. And really simple. They're all really simple, all of them, all different shapes and sizes. So I just thought, well, I'll try them all out and see what I think, and then I could choose which is probably my favourite shape and size. So the Acacia pants by Megan Nielsen. So it's really simple. They come in 3 pieces. I mean, easy peasy. So you get the gusset, and then for this particular for this particular low-rise bikini, so you get, there's the front, so you can see how the shape of the front is, and then the back. And I did size large. I just went off the measurements, and my measurements fit size large. I'm not too bothered. Oh, is it size large? Oh, size 12. I do apologise, size 12. And I just went off the body measurements, and this pattern comes in, let me tell you what sizes it comes in. It comes from size 0, so I guess that's, I don't know what size 0 is, I've never been in size 0, but it comes from size 0 all the way up to size 20, and the waist measurement is 24 inches for size 0, all the way up to a waist of 38 inches for size 20. So there's plenty of sizes for you to choose. So there are the paper pieces. So when I was cutting the paper pattern out, for this one. I thought, oh, it's maybe a little bit on the skimp side for me. I like a bit more of a fuller brief. But I thought, no, give it a try. And I'll show you, you probably recognise some of the fabrics because they're all cut off from the tops I've made. So this is my first attempt. Now, when I got my knicker elastic, I got, I'll show you, that's all I've got left. My knicker elastic, I've just popped it on here because it was getting a little bit unruly. And I got 12 metres of the ivory and I got 10 metres of the pink, and it's got this lovely lacy picket edge. And I got both of these from minerva.com. I'll put the link for that in the box below if you wanted to get some. So that's all I've got left. So this is my first attempt, and typical of me, again, I didn't read the instructions for the length of the elastic. So I just literally held the whole of the length of the elastic. I didn't cut any elastic to length, and stitched around the leg, just stretching the elastic and then cutting when I got to the end. And then but you don't need to do that. So this is my first attempt, and as you can see, it's a little bit skew width, especially on the waistband because I overstretched it, because you don't need to overstretch it. They're still, I tried them on and they still fit absolutely fine, but obviously they don't look as pretty as the second pair. But this is my first attempt, and obviously went back and read the instructions and realised there's elastic measurements in there. You just cut the elastic measurements, you cut 2 for the leg, obviously 1 for the waist, and then you just stretch that piece to fit, which I didn't realise. So that was my first attempt, but they're a really nice size actually. The paper pattern was deceiving and they're a really nice size on. So I will definitely be wearing this ones. So my second pair, which I edged in the white, and you can see a much better. This is stuff fabric that I got to make my Somerset tee, and I had about half a metre left. So I've managed to get quite a few pairs of these out. I've got a few cut as well. So that's in the white, and obviously it's much better finish. And they're just so simple, and I'll show you my last pair that I've made in the Acacia. Again, this is the fabric, another fabric I got for a Somerset tee. And I'll pop pictures up of me wearing those Somerset tees as well, so you can see what I'm on about. So really easy pair of knickers, really simple. And when I got the hang of it and I got the gist of what I was doing, I could literally make a pair in 15 minutes. I timed myself 15 minutes flat. Now there is 2 ways that you can put the elastic on, and I tried both ways, but for speed, the first way that I'll explain, obviously it's much quicker, but for that better finish, the second way is probably better. But at the end of the day, who's going to look at the finish on your knickers? I mean, I'm hardly going to get a job for Victoria's Secret. So, and who's going to look at the finer detail on the lace and my knickers? So either way is a really good way. But if you want to whiz a pair of knickers up, the first way I think is much quicker. So it's when you put the gusset on, it's like a burrito method, you know, the burrito. So you put the gusset on to the front, right sides together, and then you get the second piece of the other gusset, because you cut 2 pieces of gusset out, and you put that on the back, and then you stitch them together, and then you add the back piece of the knicker, and then you fold it over, and so it forms like a burrito, and then you stitch the back part of the gusset, and then you pull it all through, and then you've got your gusset all neatly enclosed. Oops, got a bit, I haven't trimmed the cotton off there, but you get the gusset all neatly enclosed on the inside, as neat as the outside. So they're all enclosed. And then you've got the 2 options. Option 1, which is what I said before, which is much quicker, where you don't sew the sides up yet, and then you just put your elastic all the way around, and then you sew the sides up. But by doing that, you sometimes get a little bit of a step going on, because obviously you're not stitching in the round, so you're joining up 2 sides, so you get a tiny little bit of step. But I mean, who's going to see that? as opposed to, there's another pair I'll show you and another style, you don't get the step. But when you sew the sides up first and then add your elastic, obviously you then adding your elastic in the round, so then you've got to sew your elastic together in the round, join it together and then attach it, which is a little bit more fiddlier, maybe a little bit neater, as I said, but I mean, God. So I did both methods and I prefer this method because you can hardly, you know, a tiny little bit of step going on in the lace. I mean, who's going to see? So these are the Acacia pants. Absolutely love them, and they're very deceiving. I thought they'd be too small for what I want in a knicker, and I love them. So I managed to get that pair and that pair and obviously my first pair, and I've got all these as well cut out ready to make in Acacia. So 1, 2, 3, 4 obviously, and the 3 I've made there, so I've got 7 pairs of Acacia out of scraps. All the ribbon elastic is already cut, ready to go. So that's the Acacia pant by Megan Nielsen. Moving on to the second pair. Now my Nana will be proud of these. These are what I call a big knicker, Bridget Jones knicker, but again, they're really comfy to wear, and they're classed as a high waist knicker, which they are. Full bum coverage going on here. And again, this was leftover fabric that I've used for another Somerset t-shirt that I've just recently cut out, and I thought, oh well, I'll see what they would look like. And when I made these, I didn't have any of the ivory ribbon elastic left, so I added the pink, but they look quite pretty. And these are called the Maxine panties by Evie La Lieve, and I'll show you the paper pattern. Again, you've got the gusset. They're all very similar, the gussets. And then there's the front, so it's obviously a lot different to the Acacia. Show you the difference. And this is cut on the fold, but if I fold that over, you can see the difference. Depends what you want in a pant. And there's the back. So a lot bigger, deeper style. And these come in from extra, extra small all the way up to extra, extra large. And the sizing for these, so the extra, extra small waist measurements goes from 24 inches all the way up to extra, extra large, which is a waist measurement of 34.5 inches. I don't think that's extra, extra large myself, but anyway, so that's the measurement, and that's just to show you a picture. And it's skill beginner, they're all beginner. Anybody could make these knickers, quite easy, and she's got full diagrams and instructions, as does the Megan Nielsen. Easy peasy. So that is the Evie La Lieve Maxine panties. Proper Bridget Jones. My Nana would be proud. But I like them actually, they're quite nice on. Moving on to a very similar pair, the next pair, very similar to those Maxine pants, not as deep. These are the Noelle, and this is by Madeline Intimates. And the only thing with this pattern is there's no instructions, but you don't, once you've done the Acacia or the Maxine, you don't need instructions because they're all put together the same. And I'll show you these ones. So these are still a big knicker. I would say these are more like a Bridget Jones knicker, but they're not as deep as those, the Maxine, and I'll just compare them for you so you can see. But again, really pretty, really simple. So that is the Noelle, and I'll just show you the difference in the Maxine. So not as deep. Very similar in the sides. Sides are very similar, but as you can see, a deeper pant, higher waisted pant, I think. But again, really comfy, and I would wear them. Cozy knicker, when you need a cozy knicker, perfect. So, as I say, this one doesn't come with any instructions, just comes with pictures. I wouldn't have bothered printing this off if I'd have realised. I'll show you the paper piece again. So there's the gusset, and the original pattern came like this, and then it's greyed out there, and it says the shaded area is the crotch line and cut one on the fold. Because there's no instructions, I thought, well, do what with the other one. So I just folded it up off that shaded area, and the original pattern comes like on a fold like that. So I just made a fresh pattern and made it the full piece, folded that up, and then carried on as all the other pieces had in the gusset, and that worked out absolutely fine. So because there's no instructions at all. But there is the front and the back. And the Madeline Intimates comes in sizes. Again, I've done size 12. I think I've done size 12 or large. If it was sizes, I did the 12, or if it was like extra, small, medium, large, I went for the large. And again, these ones I believe I did in the large, and they go from extra small all the way up to all the way up to 3XL. So the extra small was 23-inch waist all the way up to a 41-inch waist. So plenty of sizes for everybody to choose. And that is the Madeline Madeline Intimates, and that's the Noelle panty. But as I said, there's no instructions, so I wouldn't have bothered printing that off if I'd have realised. But great pant, loved them. And moving on to the last pair is the Stevie Knicker by Paper Theory. Similar to the Acacia, and I used this leftover scrap that I had. I think I made a Freya top in this, and I gave it to my daughter for Christmas in this. She still wears it, and I had a bit left. I think I managed to get 2 pair of these cut out, and just added the pink trim, and they look really, I'm really pleased with these as well. And I'll compare them to the Acacia just so you know, because obviously it's nice to see what the differences are. So the sides are very similar. And let's just put them together and just see what difference they are in length. Very similar. There's very little difference. Let's put one on top of the other. Hardly any difference. So the Stevie by Paper Theory or the Acacia are almost identical. This shape reminds me of the ones I've got from Tesco and Primark, this shape. So if I was going to make a batch, I'd probably make either of these. But I do like the big ones as well. So this one is the Paper Theory pattern, the Stevie knickers. And that's it there. Basic instructions, and it comes in size 6 to size 20. So the measurements for these are all in centimetres, so I'll just convert them. So size 6 is 61 centimetre. So size 6 is 24-inch waist, all the way up to a size 20, which is a 37-inch waist. So quite a few sizes there as well, but very, very similar to the Acacia. So that's the Stevie Nicks, and I'll show you Stevie Knickers, sorry, and I'll show you again gussets. They're all very similar, and there's the front, and I did a size 12 in these, and there's the back. So very, very simple. And then they're brilliant because obviously you only need one for the back, one for the front, and two for the gusset. So you can squeeze quite a few pairs of knickers out if you've got some leftover, half a metre left over. Really, really good. So as I say, I won't be purposely ordering fabric to make knickers, but I'll certainly be using the offcuts to make more knickers. That is definite. I just think it's an absolutely brilliant way of using them, and I'll wear them all. I will wear all of these, and even my daughter, I was talking to her on the phone last night with WhatsApp, you know, FaceTime, whatever it's called, and I said, oh, do you want to have a look at my knickers I've just made? And she was really impressed, and she said, God, Mum, I'd wear them. So really impressed. So the last pair, which I haven't made because these, when I printed it off, I didn't realise these are made in like, you know, like Liberty Lawn fabrics, which I haven't got, and I wasn't going to faff about with cutting up bits of cotton and what have you, but they really are pretty pants. So I thought, well, I'd show you them anyway. These are called Pretty as a Picnic mini knickers, and again, they look similar in size, well, they look similar in shape to the Acacia or the Stevie Knickers type of thing, proper average size knicker, I would say. But the instructions are using cotton lawn. But the sizes, so the sizes go from size 8, which is, so size 8 is a 25-inch waist, all the way up to a size 18, which is a 35.5-inch waist. So again, plenty of sizes to choose from, and instructions and diagrams to make, but they're all made in exactly the same way. So I thought they were quite pretty, but I don't think I'll be making any cotton lawn knickers anytime soon, but they're really pretty, so I thought I'd just share them with you. So they're called Pretty as a Picnic Cotton Minis, and they are by the Love Sewing magazine. I'll put all the links for all these knickers in the box below, so then you can go, and if there's any shapes that you fancy making, then obviously you can go and just download the patterns, because they're all free, and we like a freebie, don't we? So there are my 5 knickers, and I've got some leftovers here. Leftovers, not enough to make another pair of knickers, and I folded them over. Is it Marie Kondo style? I folded them over, so they're going to be nice and neat. I must tackle my shelves because they're starting to get a little bit messy, and there's enough there for me to do some maybe contrasting cuffs for any future summer set t-shirts, or contrasting necklines for any Freya tops, or any anything like that, vests and t-shirts. There's enough left for me to do things like that, but not enough to get some pants out of. So out of all that scrap fabric which was sat in my IKEA storage box, which was never going to get used really, I've managed to get, I think it's 10 pairs of knickers. I've used just about all my elastics. I need to order some more, and I'll probably go and get some different colours next time, but I will definitely making my knickers from now on using my scraps, because I'm always going to be making t-shirts and summer sets, so I'm always going to have the scraps. Until fabric companies sell in quarter meters, then I'm always going to have scraps. And, you know, just a brilliant way of using up your scraps. You've probably seen some of the other ways that I've used my scraps up for in my headband tutorial. I'll put the link for that up there. It's another great way of using up even less fabric to make a headband. You only need, you know, as much as that really to make a nice knot headband. So hope you enjoyed today's video. Hope I've enlightened you into a few of the free PDF patterns that you can download, free knicker patterns. So have you been making knickers? Have you made any of these patterns, or have you made different patterns that I've never mentioned? If you have, please let us know in the box below, then we can all share, especially if it's a free downloadable pattern, because we all like a freebie. I really do like them. I like them all. I'll probably end up making the Acacia or the Stevie probably the most, but I do like the big pants because we all like a big pants now and then. I know I do, a nice cosy big knicker, and I just need to get some more pretty elastic trim as well. I have got some fold over trim which I haven't used, so there is the option of using the fold over trim. Great way of using up your scraps. My scrap bin has been well and truly rifled through. I've got no more left to make any more knickers with at the moment. But as soon as I make any more t-shirts or any more of the summer set, because I love this pattern, then obviously I can make headbands and I can make knickers and whatever else I can think of to use my scraps up. So if you did like today's video, thumbs up if you don't mind, that would be really nice. And if you just found my channel, please subscribe if you haven't already done so. And I have got my next Sew the Look video coming next Sunday. I think I said in the previous video that it was coming this Sunday. I got my dates wrong. It's coming next Sunday, and that's two garments for my next Sew the Look for April. So that's exciting. And obviously got lots more sewing and sewing chit chat coming as usual. But until the next time, thanks so much for watching today. Get your knicker patterns out, get them downloaded, get your scraps used and make some knickers. But until then, bye for now and happy sewing.